talk officially. You guys already know why am I man they already as usual every week everybody that as much uh, as much as we talk about stuff show anybody can speak here on YouTube in the description for the Twitter and so you should hear us on the Twitter and two you get something you want to ask just the face you plan to send us a video anything you want to talk about. We'll talk about it. This week is a light week. It's a nice, someone is sick. I'm a little tired. I still want us to do it, and I want us to have a great conversation around just the market. I mean, the market, bring back some knowledge to the market, and I think this time is a wonderful time. And after the start, this market right now. It's one good thing, I think. One second. Um, everybody watching this. Anything as an investment advisor. Investment advice association with an investment advisor. I recommend an investment advisor.com. Outside that, so somebody who does.
I mean, I know again, I've had it. Also more so
the ones of course the last few weeks a lot more.
yes, sir.
Because this is kind of season kicking off of Caribbean region. In perspective. have to say about what we're doing to March. I remember about to say about going to March when when we like all the time from together. I was thinking to when March when not even sure.
Oh, I remember this.
And I have it right. And one of the people let me know. I think my and just that's I think I can early down.
Uh-huh.
some of what I'm about that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, definitely. Someone on the time. So, this is too stuff. Why is it great to keep it? Okay, why is it like that's thinking that when made it that thing is was by
When you're actually
was on religion. So sometimes
Yeah.
billions of dollars from them. So yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
So that's not the reason. However, based on the point that you're bringing out, though, you also said something else. You said, well, today it dropped to, what
The
you say it
low,
dropped to?
a low of $2.50, and
A
eventually
low of,
closed at $2.63.
Mm-hmm.
and it closed at there. So it hit a low of $2.50 and it closed at 263.
Yeah,
And you're saying that that is as a result of what?
I think it's because SSL exited because they were a top 10 share, they were part of the top 10 shareholder. So they actually at position 10 where they held 24 million shares.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
then we
But
saw that
them exit?
suspension
Man,
by the JC came out.
how you know it's them exit?
Boy, I, everything is all about speculation because at the end, the closing of trading day, there was a notification that came out from JC that they had suspended SSL.
I don't
Correct.
think it's I don't think it's suspend.
Well, not
It's
suspend, but
it done.
yeah, yeah, done with them, yeah. So put two
Well,
and two together, I would say that they were forced to exit.
I don't know
force
about
to
that one.
exit. Yeah, I
Well,
don't know.
I don't know.
well,
I'm not sure about that.
it's speculation, so I'm just that's
Yeah,
what
man, but watch
I'm
me now.
speculating.
So let me
No,
tell
no,
you
no,
my
not disagreeing. That's
Mhm.
just the wording, you know. I
Oh
was
yeah,
just forced to exit. I think they were. I think they have reasons to exit. So
yeah, reason, yeah, they had to liquidate some of them assets. So
yeah, and what I'm being very careful with that is that with you saying that is because
people are listening, yeah.
no, not because people are listening. People are always listening. Is that I want you see that thing that you say, boy, speculation.
Mm-hmm.
To me, at least how I do this thing,
Mm-hmm.
something you speculating on a point doesn't mean that the point shouldn't be built up as strong as it can be,
mm-hmm.
right?
Okay.
I believe that the point should be built up as strong as it can be built, regardless. Yes,
Mhm.
speculation. The truth is, all of investing is speculation. How it can read the future.
Yeah.
However, us speculating on something, you should try and do it as strongly as how I say
Mm-hmm.
on the strongest basis that you can.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You should seek to speculate on the strongest basis you can, because the stronger the basis of your speculation, the more accurate your speculation turns out to be.
Yep.
True. True.
So if you want to strengthen your speculative powers, you have
Hmm.
to stress test it. So why do you think that it was SSL exiting?
Okay. So based on the volume, and now I'm putting two and two together because I looked at the top 10 shareholder, I think it was a month ago, but totally that I actually missed that SSL out of it. So you have other investors in the market. They are aware that SSL was within that top 10. And based on everything that was going on, they possibly would have expected SSL at some point to liquidate their asset. So you would have had investors over a period of time taking profit because they would have made profit after the split. Who would have come in after the split would have made their money hoping for a rights issue, but they would have started to take profit because they had already speculation going on. So we had the stock
Because
price coming
they had
down.
what?
They
Go
had
on.
before knowledge, or they did the fundamentals, had an idea, and everything has to do with also emotions. You have to take that into consideration as well, because if I knew this, what I know today, chances are I would have sold and wait because nothing fundamental would have changed about the company. Only that a shareholder would have exited because of whatever
But
circumstances that he find himself in.
but shareholders exit all the time. So
Mm-hmm.
wait, last week
But
we were
but
talking
but
with no, go ahead, sorry.
SSL, SSL is a special case because it is tied to so many emotions. Right now, people are angry and upset about what happens there. So looking at them within a particular company, it evokes a certain form of emotion into investors,
Does it
which
evoke? Sorry,
sometimes
what kind of emotion it evokes for you?
for me, boy, as me
Yeah.
say, if I knew that they were in there, my analysis would have brought me to the fact that eventually they would have been asked to sell, to liquidate. And oftentimes it's not about what the highest price you can get, but what the price you can get to completely remove yourself or to liquidate the asset within the company. And normally that is being sold at a cheaper price. So as an investor that was holding, I would have expected the stock price to plummet, and it's actually what happened. So all of that analysis missed me because I did not pay keen attention to the top 10 shareholding, and that's one of the most important thing you need to know as an investor. You need to be aware of the top 10 powerhouse that sits in a company that you plan to invest in.
I don't know if it's one of the most important thing, but it
Yeah,
is
I don't know
a
about that,
good,
but
Well,
it's a
why
good
not?
it's
thing to know.
Not the most. I said
definitely
one
good to
of.
pay attention to.
What was that?
It's definitely good to pay attention to.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But know that they're so in your mind they're out. So what are you thinking going forward then?
So uh, they're out. So all of that negativity, all of that emotion would have left Phosphate stock, right? So nothing fundamental has changed about the company. The company has the history of being the best performing stock over last year, even though past result does not guarantee future returns.
That's
The
true.
company has this thing about it. They're still making money, and I'm looking forward to the final the end of year financial statement that it's supposed to come out of it. If I remember serving right, March 1st.
Yes,
And
my money J
if,
has
if
that is should come out in 5 days.
yeah, so if they are profitable, as they were, I should expect the sentiment around the company to change, especially when you look at shareholders. Because when I looked at the buy queue, it was heavy. It was still heavy. Million, I think I saw a million shares being asked for in the buy queue and going down the still
Average.
see volume. Yeah. So
Yeah, man. Currently,
persons are still
the fast
interested
switch
in
by
this stuff.
Q. Currently, just to add to your point, yeah, keep pointing it out. So currently, fast switch by Q has 4.89 million units in it, and a demand level of 12.3 million. That's I guess you say it's strong. Yeah, that single $1 million order it would seem strong. The sell queue has 10.9 million in there with 51 mil in it, but the sell queue has had larger volumes for a while. I think since the split actually.
Yeah.
But I like this. I don't know if people remember from last week. I like the difference. People can tell that you did grow, you know. the
No,
difference, the
I
difference
didn't
from
do it.
last week till
I'm
now
gonna
is
do. I'm
stark.
not. I'm gonna do grow up coming Sunday. That'll be my first time doing grow.
You didn't do the split. You s-
No,
oh
I
no, you
won
didn't do
the
the
I won
split.
the 100% last week, so I'll be coming for the
Yeah, but
first
you
time for
sound
class.
you sound like you sound like somebody that was in the split session there. You are going to like
Man,
um
listen. I read every news. I read every document. I just read.
I can
I
tell.
am reading every day.
But
I'm paying attention. But at the end of the day, what I have is I have a problem with conviction because I can do all the work. I see the play, but the faith poor. And that is something that I need to basically work on. Because I even the other day I was reasoning with Pablo, and he must say, but Wilson, if you have a faith in a company, right? Why you not use the faith where you have and do what you need to do? I'm like, why? You know, I move a position, and then when we look, this stock go up 31, 34%. I'm like, look, yo, I say, oh, look on that, bro.
That sounds specific, but
so all right, hold on. Going back to that specific fast switch point where you say you're in it, and if you didn't know, you would have did sell, right? And if you didn't know that Fosrich was one of the top 10 owners of Fosrich was
SSL.
SSL, you'd
Mm.
have sold
Yeah, and go
because
back
you'd have
in at a
expect
lower price.
and go back in
Because,
at a lower price.
yeah,
Okay.
because nothing fundamental would be changing about the company.
Mm, Nothing fundamental will be changing about the company.
No.
So you would have gone back in at a lower price
Yeah, because it's going to
because
go up. Yeah,
it's
I
going to
expect it
go
to
up.
go up.
What
Yeah,
do you
man.
think it's going to go up to?
Uh, I don't, hopefully it goes beyond my average.
Yeah,
But
but
I'm
what,
gonna
what
try
do
and
you
average
think
down.
it's going to go up to?
I Right now, for me, I think Fosrich is a $5 and above company after the split. It should continue to go up because probably with that right issue come out, I'm looking probably at where is that now? $3 anywhere
What, the rights
between.
issue?
Yeah, if that is announced at this current price, $3, I expect it to go to $5 and beyond if that is announced
You expect it to go to $5 and beyond if the rights issue is announced
at $3.
at $3. Well, the price is $2.63 right now, so I don't think the rights issue would be announced anywhere here.
No,
But
it wouldn't come that because you
no,
would
no,
have
of
to
course, of course it would. No, of course it would come. What do you mean? Yeah, I don't think
below the
that's
stock, below the split price.
below the split price.
What
I
is the
don't
split price
understand.
again? I have to
No, no.
look
What
back
are
at
you?
the history because after this split, what was the price again? I don't remember.
I
Because
don't know either. They did a 10-1 split.
at what they were at $36 or something like that. I'm
So I guess
just
it goes to
seeing
three
numbers.
point $3.06. Well, but the right issue price is going to be low. I wouldn't be surprised. Um, yeah, I expect the right issue price to be much, 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 much lower. What do you mean?
Yeah, but a rights issue price does not affect or has no bearing on the market price because they have to make it appealing for the investor.
So it's going to be
Now
lower.
the market price is gonna fly because other persons want to come in for the rights issue.
Well, after you do grow this Sunday, we'll talk about that again, and you tell me what you think.
Sure, looking forward to it, man. I have it. I'm making plans already for it long time.
Yeah, but last week, so you realize I said something to you last week. I realized I see your tweet say I set my mouth on fast rich because we spoke about it. Yeah, but I was wondering why you never
Yeah,
repeat that. So
yeah,
I was kind of asking you, so what would you do if it fell and it fell? It did
yeah.
fall. But yes, I'm asking you now if you're in the situation, you say if you did know, you would have sell and buy back because you know it's going to go up.
Mhm.
So are you buying now?
I have to buy on Monday. I
Okay,
have
but
to go
why
back
didn't you
here
buy
Monday.
today when you saw the price was falling?
No, because I was at work. I was at work. He's
Okay.
after, yeah, he's after market close. I saw all of that. I'm like, yo, Richard.
Mash it up. You'd have loved to see it. So, wait, so you are buying on Monday? That's what you're saying?
Yeah, man, me plan to get some Monday.
What you say?
Monday, Tuesday, yeah. I feel average down because as me, nothing fundamental has changed about the company.
Ah, I
And
like that.
if I
Boy,
like it, if I'd liked it at $4, I'm gonna like it even better at $3 or $2 60.
boy, you already conquering a hill that many, many people struggle to conquer.
But that's a
Many,
Randy.
many people struggle to conquer that hill.
If you do your research, right, and you
Uh-huh.
believe in a company to go beyond the price that you bought it for, right? So you bought
Mm-hmm.
it at $4, and you do your research and research sound, and you say, yes, I'm willing to pay $4 for it, and the stock price reach $2
It only
or
makes sense, right?
2.50. Buy more. If me like it
Yeah,
at $4,
that's
I'm
nice.
gonna love it at $2.50. I even go something I want it to go way down too. So I can buy so when me
Mm-hmm.
buy the money, the average makes sense.
I found that I cannot convince people on that.
No, I know I can't convince people on that. Um, and then them come back later on. They don't ever say as right, but you can see them. And I think people don't calculate it. Then I said it earlier. I say it in a simpler way. If you buy it at $1, you expect it to go to $2. You want double your money, and it dropped to 70 cents. If you buy more and bring your average to 70 cents, you will achieve your goal at $1.40.
Exactly.
Way before you get to the $2. And if everything, this is where the fundamental quote unquote comes in. If everything in your analysis remains the same, if the reason why you expected it to go to $2 is still there, then at $2, instead of
You
making
almost triple your
100%,
money.
instead of making
Exactly.
100% profit, you'd have made 185.7% profit.
Exactly. Them say
Yeah,
fortune
on the first
favors the
switch.
brave, man.
But you
Indeed.
you struggle with your bravery. You just have to
Yeah,
keep buying.
yeah. No, even with all the conviction that I have, bravery,
Yeah.
still you struggle with it same way, you know. And what I'm trying to tell myself, listen, the stock market is a place where you don't put your money if you're not willing to lose it. Because it can happen. You're putting your money out there.
But you don't have to tell yourself that either, because you shouldn't be willing to lose any
You should
money.
be willing to lose
You
it, yeah.
shouldn't be willing to lose any, you know, but it can happen. It have to be in the back of your mind because next thing
No, that can't happen,
I thought a garbage bin because you never
That
plan for
can't
you never plan for
that
the
can't
thing.
that can't happen, man. That can't happen. Let me tell you my thing.
Mm,
Maybe it's a personality thing for me, but see, if I
mm,
go into any sort of investment with that sort of mindset, it's like I'm
yeah.
saying, boy, I'm making it an option. I don't do that. I don't make things that I don't want to have happen an option. It's just not an option for me. So it's like, some people, it's like you're going to something, you have a backup plan, or use like an example from history. Them say, like, the Vikings used to come. I don't remember who did it. Somebody did it. They invaded a place, so they came on the ships, them come off, and the captain turned around and said, burn the ships.
Yeah.
So,
Vikings.
retreat is not an
No,
option.
was it Vikings?
Burn the ships. Or
Word.
option, or only option
Was not Vikings.
is to win. And after we win, we must
We'll
win
leave on
so
their ships
completely that we can either leave on their ships or
or leave
rebuild
here.
ships.
Yeah.
Yeah, but burn the ships. There's no backup. You see, if I'm going to something, I say, boy, only like a common thing that people say, only invest that money which you're willing to lose. Investment is for everybody, and not everybody has money that you're willing to lose.
Yes, sir.
So
Invest
so
in a way
so
where you're looking for your gain. And
yeah.
then what should happen that is, if you can't afford to lose the money, great.
Hmm.
Invest in a way that reflects that you can't afford to lose the money. Meaning, be the extra careful person and take the extra steps needed then. If you can't afford
But
to lose. But you see, the second you leave the option of, boy, you remember you can do it. Me not eat out on a garbage bin, brother. That's not an
mhm.
option, so me not lose.
Okay. You sound like a man where do research for your 2 months before you got into a company.
No.
No?
Yes and no, but that's not
No.
necessarily the line in taking. Yeah, I mean, the research never stops. That's it.
Yeah, yeah. The
Okay.
research is ongoing. Grower means grow rich with research.
Research. Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
man, the research never
Oh,
stops.
okay.
But
So yeah,
but
man. So yeah, the 2 months ago,
Mhm.
definitely there was research being done. Right?
yeah,
Trust, like check everybody. Everybody within our general, our space are investing. The grower groups or whatever. You'll find how often something we said a couple months ago comes back up because you were on the bar with that. We'll make sure we keep checking that thing.
yeah, man.
Yeah, man. So
Okay.
I don't want to do that sound like, boy, I ran this sit down and frozen for 2 months before we can
Mhm.
make a decision time of making sure doing the research. Just like the research does don't stop.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
I message Randy an article at 3 o'clock in the morning, and he might respond, but he might respond with it. He might respond on it. Yeah, trust me, it's that deep.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Cause think about it. Suppose then I just see 3 o'clock in the morning and send it. Suppose I don't read it until tomorrow,
Mm-hmm.
10 o'clock or 9:35. But there's something in the article. Mean if I did see the thing in the article, I would have put in my order
Order.
from
Yeah, man.
pre-open.
True,
Yeah,
true, true.
yeah. Think about that. Think about like how deep you gone in a fast route. You know, say people are go on the way home from traffic. They must come out of the traffic and go in a fast reach new building and
Yeah,
wait till the traffic run off. But you don't know who the top 10 owners are. But then
yeah,
now
yeah,
you're
yeah.
telling me say the top 10 is a major point. And by the way, the top 10 is not always a major point for every
Mm-hmm.
company. You never know when
Mhm.
it is or it isn't. But
Mm-hmm.
in the case
But
of
it's good to know.
Fastridge, yeah,
Doc.
man, it's good to know. And in the case of Fastridge, you think that you would have come out. No, I knew that SSL was a top 10 shareholder.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know for sure that SSL exited today, but
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
the volumes certainly look like them exiting. Now, if they exited today and the price has fallen as far as it has fallen, I'm agreeing with you with the idea that it's going to go up, you know. In
Mhm.
fact, this is where the research comes in. I go one step further. So you see how you set things under speculation? Nothing wrong with
Yes.
that. Start from speculation. That's step one.
Mhm.
But then you get stronger with it. Okay, I think this is going to happen. Saying but my speculate is not a reason to
Mm-hmm.
just
Exactly.
leave it. Yeah.
Okay.
Say
How much
yeah man,
ask
say
yourself how much you can confirm? How much of this is actually real? Because you're speculating, you know, but
Mhm.
what you saying right there so is I'm admitting there is a part of this I don't know. We have to if you're admitting that, you have to get up and
Mhm.
find as much as you can know about this thing.
mm-hmm,
And there are things out there that are knowable. So just have to
Oh, okay.
find it and know it. Or you put if you if you start doing that, the worst you're left with is knowing that you don't know something.
mm-hmm.
True,
And
That's
then
a
you
true,
good
true,
place to
true.
be because no when that thing comes up, that's you immediately picking it up. That can be
yeah
the
man.
final thing that say, boy, and they put only a little bit of my money in this. But knowing that thing would have made me send all my money in there.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine,
Yeah.
imagine not knowing that you need to know that thing.
What I missed in the seller buy queue though is that the volume, where if it was one large, because when I use JMB
Let me
money
let me
line,
tell you something.
and when I went
One,
in there, I did
I
not
can
see where
pause.
that
No man, I
volume
can
went.
pause you. Hold on. One, just use my money, JA. Get a premium account, and if you get the premium account, you'll
Mhm.
be one of the very first people to try the app. Like I said, the premium accounts are about to start getting the apps. The notices will go out a little later or tomorrow. They'll get to start testing the app. Premium accounts, you
Okay.
can even sign up for a premium trial and you test the app during that time. You'll love it. But so my money J can tell you how the trades went. However,
Okay.
I'm gonna say something controversial. And thinking 2023, if we go hard bricks to 2023, here's the
Mhm.
controversial thing. The queue does not matter to 99% of people's profits. We put a
Yep.
whole heap of attention on the queue, but the queue does not matter to 99% of people profit. But them love it. It's busy work. It
Mm-hmm.
feel like you do something important. But
Yeah.
you know what watching the queue is like? Watching the queue is like being able to tell whether or not it's like you thinking that you'll be able to tell whether or not you're going to win the lotto by sitting down
Mhm.
and watching how much traffic is on the road.
Okay.
Like it don't necessarily mean what you think it means. There might be points, or you can say, you know what? More know if my party there's a party going on up the road. I want to know if it's a sell off. So or there's a party going on in Duhaney Park, and I'm in half a tree. So I watch the car up on the road for see if I saw it go. You
Mm-hmm.
might think say somebody will come to you and say, but that makes sense because you have to pass the road if you go do any park. Yeah,
Yeah.
but you can also pass the road if you stop on my lines. You can pass the road if you go up to Red Hills. You can do all kind of things from there, right? It doesn't necessarily
Mhm.
mean what you think it means. But when you see the whole heap of car in half a tree, and then later on you go do any park and you see the party pack, and you say, I know the party did that pack, come and say a whole heap of car. That's when you start lying to yourself. You start deciding that there's a data point that was very important, or it had the
Yeah.
importance of a 10, when in reality it probably had the importance of like a 1 or a 2. And
Okay.
that might not seem that important until the next time when now you are the promoter for the next party and you put all your money into this thing and you say, boy, may I see if the party will sell off? And the thing you use to determine if the party will sell off is you watch a car them in a half a tree. Say,
Uh-huh.
and you go your party and it don't sell off, hardly anybody come, and you go, but how that no work when
Mm-hmm.
this is even more kind of half a tree than the last like, party I'm gonna say? Because the point that you're paying attention to is not necessarily the point that is important. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, man. Some of these trades didn't show in the queue at all.
Yeah, exactly.
Many big trades don't show in the queue. I say it all the time. Like there rarely ever is anything from me in the queue. You don't really see my orders in the queue more than so.
Who
A
that
whole
big
heap of
trade
other people.
themselves?
A whole heap of other people. You're not going to see them orders in the queue. The queue has its limitations, and in terms of actual importance, on a
Yes.
scale of 1 to 10, I'm gonna put the queue for most people at maybe a 2, closer to a 1, but maybe a 2. But I
Mhm,
understand that, especially in this new market that we have,
mhm.
retail investors love the queue.
Yeah, man.
They tell them all kind of things, and sometimes it's rough for me because I can usually follow every single investing conversation around the market. I can not usually follow. I can follow every single one. But there only one type of investing conversation around the market that I can't follow is when people are telling me things and they reference it versus the queue. Yeah, man, can you remember like in October last year when
Yeah, bro.
there was a 2 million that was in the queue. I have no idea what
No
was
clue.
in the queue. I don't watch the queue like that. I look at the queue when I'm about to make a move sometimes, or there are specific points that I pay attention to. But people talk about the queue like a landmark. Like
Brother.
The point, but the point that I was looking for in the queue, is to see
Mhm.
if it was an insider trade
How would the queue tell
because
you
How
a
you know
that,
that?
retail
brother?
investor,
How you don't know that? How would you know that?
How do you
because
know,
a
sir?
retail investor now just get 24 million shares of us if you just buy some.
Oh, so you're thinking that, well, so hold on. First, let me tell you something. You need to be careful of the lie you want to believe, right?
Mhm.
The most dangerous lies are the lies that you want to believe. You decide already, probably based on David's tweet, that the shares that move is SSLs.
Mhm.
You forget, say, 10 minutes ago, you tell me, say, boy, I speculate, not speculate,
Yeah, but there is still speculation, But I am
but
trying
it's
to test
wild
my.
speculation. So how
I
would you
am trying
test
to
it first?
test. I am trying to test my theory.
All right. So I like
And
that. I
at
like
the
that you're
end of
trying
the
to
day,
test your theory.
at the end of the day, you have to ask yourself these wild questions because at the end of the day, I don't have any concrete evidence to prove that it was this particular company that existed from the
I
top
did.
10.
So hold on. Actually, this. So why were you caring about the Q then? I
Yeah.
disagree with that. You don't have any evidence. There are bits of evidence that you
Mhm.
have. You just
Yeah.
ignore them. You're ignoring them. So let's work through it now.
Hmm.
How would you know? So you're thinking that you're going to see 24 million in the queue one time, right? Because
Yeah.
SSL,
Like somebody. Yeah. Like
because
an insider
SSL,
trade.
and that's linked to the fact that SSL um,
24.
as that
25,
last
20, yeah,
report,
24, yeah.
they have 25 million actually. As that last
Yeah,
report, 25
25.
million,
25 mil.
20,257 shares. So you figure you're going
Mhm.
to see a 25 million, 20,257 share order, single order in the sell queue. And you look at it and know, say, that's definitely SSL, right?
Yeah, based on the number.
So suppose JMMB put a 25 million, 20,257 order in the queue.
Mhm.
That's true. That's
But
true. But
suppose they did
but
that. What would that
You
mean?
mentioned that SSA is the 10th, you know. You have
yeah,
nine other man can put in the same amount of shares.
boy, highly unlikely them go put in the same amount of shares to batch SSL.
Suppose
But
they want
Who said they
throw
match it? They must be
impossible.
what them doing.
suppose they want
Impossible.
throw suppose they want throw Q
Throw
up
you
and try
off.
Q off.
Yep.
That's true. Emotions are manipulation in the market from the big man and the small man.
Yeah,
It's
every
all
human
mind
being has
games.
it. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
The human being has it. But you know what I also find? The Q
Hmm.
is one of the most interesting things to retail investors.
Hmm.
Like they will tell you, I quote somebody recently who said that boy, the Q full of tricks. And I said to them that 99% of those tricks are people playing it on themselves.
Yep.
Yeah.
You decide the lie you want to believe. Now, understand, I'm not disagreeing with you that that amount might be SSLs,
Hmm.
but there are ways to tighten it up, and then how much weight you give that point is is best found on the actual facts, right? So you want me to
Yes.
say everything that you're looking at, you back every speculative bit that you have, you're backing it up with fact.
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes I wonder if I look back on this and regret even saying these things publicly,
Mm-hmm.
because there's lots of things I look back and regret saying publicly, like, I shouldn't be giving people that kind of game for free. And a lot of them, Dana and I take a whole heap of heat for for saying some of these things that nowadays they're said like normal, and people
bro.
put them up as them own things. And I wonder, say, but well, on it's kind of hard for me if I forget, say, when me have said that, me getting a whole heap of trouble for saying it, right?
Like goals. Imagine.
Like gold. And so things like this I'm about to say, I'm wondering whether or not I really want to say, but think about all of the things you call speculation.
Mm-hmm.
And the best advice I can give you and everybody listening and watching is, don't decide ahead of time that, I can't prove it. So the speculation on
Mm-hmm.
its own is enough. Don't
Mm-hmm.
don't don't
Okay.
do that. That's a common mistake. What I would say instead is, look to see what you think, and then
Mm-hmm.
look to see what's happening, and then see how much of what's happening can be brought back to what you think with proof. And you might be very,
Okay.
very, very surprised at how much can be brought back with proof, or brought back to a provable point.
Okay.
Because, yeah, man, because oftentimes we decide way ahead of time for something can't prove, and then we don't, and then we ignore, we skip the small, we skip the small, seemingly unprovable things, and we lose out because of that. So, for example, you said that with the Fostrages raise, you say, like, if you think that them raising at $3, it might cause a lot of people to run in, right? But
Mm-hmm.
because the price is below three right now, that might not be the best time. It might not be the best time for them to raise.
No, I was using a hypothetical number because of where it's at now. I don't
But
know
what
what
is a
plans they have.
hypothetical number?
I don't.
But you do know what plans they have. You know that the plan to raise. You
Mm-hmm.
hear
Yeah,
me say the man say it's
yeah, man,
definitely
them
going to
plan
be
to
a rights
raise, but
issue.
we don't know. I have no idea which figure I'm having in my brain
Yeah,
at
but you
where they
must.
want its stock price to be before them ask for them raise.
So you see, that's an
Well, you mentioned
example
something
of,
earlier.
yeah.
Uh,
You mentioned something earlier that made me think
yeah,
you
a
you do
hypothetical
have an
figure.
idea.
I was saying $3. Hypothetical figure because of where it's at now.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Hmm?
Why? So it's at
Why?
three. It's at $3 because of where it's at now.
No, I was just using a baseline figure right now
Mm-hmm.
to say because I was just calling a random number.
Yeah, but well, so let's move away from just a random number.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to, let's put some strength around it since you're doing it. And by the way, we invite people to come on and talk about any situation in stock. So it's a great opportunity, I think, for anybody to take it up or not. But since you're talking about the
Yeah,
first rate,
if
let,
somebody can help me with the reasoning, them
we
can.
are gonna help you. This is the actual help. Believe me, that's what the
Oh,
questions
okay,
are, and
okay.
the answers will help you. Yeah, our questions are actually useful. So, what do you think is going to? You say you don't know what's going to happen, but then you say no, we do know what's going to happen. Them going to raise, right?
Yeah.
All right. So they're going to raise, and when them raise, how you say how him say I'm going to raise?
I was saying, for example, $3 would be the market price. If you're gonna
Okay.
raise, if you're gonna, for example, the market price is $3 when they call a raise.
Uh-huh. Well, him said that they're going to do a rights issue. That's what you say him say.
they don't actually believe in it. Because you just tell me, say, hey, just throw out a number.
Oh, I set up myself also.
Yeah, but it's okay. This is a great
It's
way
fine.
to get it right. Trust me.
Mhm.
Go through. Actually think it through and question it. All right, I'll help you with this. And this is just like you, I don't know. So both of us are speculating, but I'm trying to remain as strong as I can.
Mhm.
Despite what you might hear on Twitter, these things aren't done loosely. It's not fly by night, right? These things are planned way in advance. So I think they know the right issue price from long before. In fact, with those, you said them submit the papers. I'm pretty much sure those papers have a price written on it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So they know before. That means that that price was set despite or regardless of whatever else was going to happen with the share price after that. When did the CEO say that, the things are with FSC?
I think he was saying that he was far advanced. I think it was like 5 months ago.
5 months ago.
Yeah.
So if we're looking
It was
about
far.
5 months ago, the share price was about 470 at its peak 5 months ago. The September 6th, it was $4.70. So you're
Yeah, he
thinking,
said
all right,
it was far advanced at that particular time.
so if it was $4.70 at that point, let's pretend that the price today was $4.70.
Mhm.
Would they be okay then coming with the right issue at $3?
Probably $1 less, probably $3.75.
Okay, I get you. So I'll tell you this, and don't just take my word for it. Also go and check
Yeah.
on your own. Right, secondary raises, when companies are raising
Mhm.
money to make it attractive, they price it way below the
Yep.
current market price.
Cheap.
Yeah,
Oh.
because why would
Especially
I? Yeah, go ahead, Daniel.
375 when the price was at 370, when the price was close to that couple months, like it was around 350 or whatever.
Mhm.
When they announced it, I don't think they went 375 on that one at all. Cause most of the people were buying in. A lot of people bought in at 350, 375. Like when
Oh.
they,
So they have to make it more attractive
of course, man.
Of
My
than
course.
that.
discount, look at this. My discount, look at discount for real. You buy a 350, I can buy back. You can tell me if I bought a 350, my discount can be 350, right?
True. No, it can't be. It can't be. Wouldn't buy again.
I mean, I'm not saying you
Exactly.
can properly. We really can, but I think they'll make it, as Randy say, make it cheap, make it look nice. It look like a deal, bargain.
So right now it's a $2. Right now that looks like a deal.
All right, so you think $2 a deal? How do you feel about $1?
One.
Mercy. And that's
Yeah,
they would have
rush it,
had to
right?
sell that. They would have
All right,
had to sell that, man. Close
all
same
right.
day.
Well, how you feel about $1.03?
Uh-huh.
If I feel good about $1.03, we still feel good about. If I feel good about $1.03, feel good same way.
All right, so let's for make it easy for everybody, let's work with $1. So let's assume that they do it at $1, right?
Mhm.
I think they'll probably do it at $1.
Hmm.
Uh, in fact, I'm willing to bet
Ev-
that they'll do it at $1.
Yeah.
Everybody would possibly take up that offer without
I
hesitation.
I suspect so. I suspect
Uh,
so. No,
uh, going back to like, you said something earlier, I was interested. I mean,
Mhm.
you mentioned how much money how much space how much money they can raise or something like that.
No, I think he threw a ballpark figure out there what they wanted. I think he said it was a small amount of shares, like 120, 130, thereabout.
it's
Was
They
that
authorize
127.
100 and
they
how much?
are
Oh, go ahead,
127.
listed an I.
No man, yeah. Earlier I said what's the number?
No, I was just giving the number, but go ahead with your point, Danai.
Yeah, 127, but they authorize themselves for 126 million shares.
Mm.
So at the AGM they asked us, and then
Mhm.
it was given 126 million shares by way of so to be issued in a rights issue. So they're
Mhm.
authorized to issue up to 126 million shares by way of rights issue. to existing stockholders. That's on $1 each for real, don't it? Compare and the price you said 127 million compared to the 126 million shares. If it's $1 per share or so, $1.03, it really fit in nicely.
Of course.
Yeah,
So you see how you can speculate around a dollar, and it's still speculation because neither Dana is Cecil Foster nor his wife. But
True.
no, we have a 126 million, not 127. Thanks, Dana. But now we have a bit of a stronger ground to stand on, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you yourself just pointed out, you said that the emotion is a big deal, and you sounded properly emotional when you say, well, $1, yeah man, have hand to sell. Exact words, right?
Yeah.
All right. So now we have a better idea about what could likely happen if they come with a $1 thing, meaning
Tsunami.
all right. So if you believe in a tsunami, you understand why anybody, and it's not just you, I guess it's a bunch of people, you understand why then buying lower, aka averaging down, would make perfect sense, right?
Yeah, man. Always.
All right. Not always.
Not always, because
Yeah.
some person that say, boy, with NCB is a prime example. We bought at 200. It is still, even today, we're still buying.
Yeah. Or JMMB
Or
or
JMMB, yeah.
Cygnus
Mm-hmm.
or even Kingston Properties.
I was looking at a company that I don't see traded much, that clean energy. I need to look at that company because that stock price. Next big talk. I'm gonna do some research on that company and then come back because it's in the energy space. I want to know what is going on with them as well.
With what you said going on with them, you actually own the shares?
No.
Okay. Well, that and is point. And I like
Yeah,
the point.
the
I
market,
hope.
the market is there's a trend now
Mhm.
and high emotion based on companies that are within the renewables, the batteries, the windmills, the clean energy, the
You think
solar.
so?
Them
You think
people there.
there's high? You think there's high? What's the what's the
Everybody
term you use?
talk about, remember the vision 2030, to reduce carbon footprint, reduce our reliance on fossil fuel, so I remember the EU and all of them people there I give you thumbs up, for you reduce a carbon footprint in their country. So if a government or a country can reduce theirs and prove that they're doing so, kudos to them.
Well, that all sound good enough. I'm not saying you're wrong, but
Mm,
that's the sort of thing I shy away from. Firm it up to be actually sure about what we're talking about. But yeah, I don't mind if you want to talk about
yeah,
that
I
next
definitely
time. I
agree.
saw somebody on a while ago. I don't know if them drop off or if it's me accidentally kick them off. But if anybody want to join in or have any other question, now it's a great time to do it. We're not going to be going too late tonight. So if you have any questions, something you want to talk about, you can also send a speaking request and we'll talk about it. But just sealing the first rich point, I hope you get just certain little things from that. Like, around speculation and why one speculation isn't bad. We often
Yeah,
treat it
yeah.
like it's a bad word. Then I said that to you. It's weird hearing how speculation is spoken of when you
Mm-hmm.
have the understanding that
What it actually is.
yeah man of what it actually is. Like all investment is speculation.
True,
Literally all investing is speculation. So don't knock the speculation and also don't use it as an excuse to not go further.
true.
Yeah man.
All the
And then
theories should be should you should test them.
yeah man. And get them to be as strong as possible. And the stronger they are, is the more likely you are to make money. And remember,
Yeah, man.
don't come with the idea of investing only what you afford to lose.
Grow,
Work
I
with
gotta
the
take care of
burn
that,
both.
man. And Sunday, grow.
Yeah. So burn with is Cortez. That's what it was. That
Okay.
white colonizing conqueror. Um,
Oh, the
Hernan
thing there, the
Cortez.
ships,
Yeah.
Go
So
in and burn all the ships. All
yeah,
right.
man.
the thing
We
there,
brought his
right name.
people into the new world with 600 men. Come off the ships, turn around, and instruct them to burn the boats because there is no turning back. You know, when it comes to investments, especially regular regular retail investors like you and me, I will
Mm-hmm.
tell you that don't go into investing with this idea of only invest where you can afford to lose. No, invest
Don't
your money
lose.
because the point is to gain. The point isn't to
Again,
avoid losing. The point is to gain
exactly.
and come with a
Cool.
burn the ships mentality.
You
It's
can't
not
start
that
with a
you
losing approach.
exactly.
And that's why I hate. That's why I hate every single risk conversation. We are start talk about losing money before we start about making money.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Burn the
Yeah, man.
boats.
Listens.
Yeah, man. Go into every investment knowing say, yo, I can't afford to lose this money, so let me do
So what me
everything
need
that
to do?
I can
Yeah.
ensure that I don't lose money.
Give yourself the best odds.
Yeah.
Word.
All
All
right,
right.
bossy.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
man.
Big up
Have
and see you
a
on
good
Sunday.
day.
All right,
Cool,
boss.
cool.
Best up. Happy for the conversation.
Yeah, man, as always, this.
All right. So Mr. Wolf of Harbor Street, Mr. CW himself.
What's
Hello,
good, boss?
hello. What's up?
Evening, bossy. How you doing?
I'm great. How are you guys?
All right,
Yeah, good. I'm good. What's
All right,
going on
good,
in
Well,
the
good. But
market?
in the sound good.
We're not
me not
really good.
sound good.
No, me, my
No.
talk. I'm sick. I'm not dead, but stuff work with it. What's good?
Oh, Jano. Well, get the rest, bro.
But
Ah,
after this,
well, for me, what has been good to me for the past few weeks, what I want to talk about a bit tonight is First Rock, the JMD side, not the USD.
Ooh,
So,
oh, you don't often hear that,
no.
well,
Although I feel like say the last time we talked, you like first rock, and a long time we not talk.
no, the last time we did talk about TJH, you know.
Oh, so
All
no,
right.
but cool. All right, well, tell me about
We
first
might
rock.
can
What for
circle
you?
that after. But for
Yeah, man,
First
that's
Rock,
cool.
for me, well, what I've been doing over the past few weeks, I've been taking advantage of the buyback. So, but I've noticed there were two sales in the past week that kind of, well, I don't know if one was filled, but there's one still in the queue and it kind of pushed the price way down to, which is not bad. I'm actually thinking about scraping up the units, but I just wanted to know because I've been looking. Just wanted to know or talk to you guys about whether there have been anything that I have been overlooking that would have suggested that um there would be a sell down or if the buyback. Well, I don't even know if I phrase it, but
Start with what you really want. No, you don't have to sound fancy. Just
all
talk
right,
here.
yeah. I'm gonna stop going around. I have a significant sum that I want to use and I want to buy up the remaining units in the queue and at the current, so I'm looking at the queue now. I see an order there, 90,000 at 1170. Right? I want to clean up that plus a little bit more to take
Hold on.
advantage of the
No, sorry. Just to remind everybody, you're talking about First Rock
first rock.
USD,
JMD.
JMD, not USD. Sorry,
Mm-hmm.
my apologies. Yeah, First Rock JMD.
Yeah.
All
So it's
right.
something what I've been doing is I really just been buying because just tracking the buys so far,
Mm-hmm.
I've been watching what the average limit price has been that they have been buying at and
Mm-hmm.
placing. So I've been buying below that and placing my limit a few cents below. So it's worked the last 2 or 3 buys. So I'm compounded now at about 30 something percent profit on just that stock. But if another buy is scheduled for the near, let's say week or two, at the price that I'm expecting them to buy, this one purchase will be about maybe I want to say close to double those percentages that I've been getting. But I
Right.
wanted to talk it through with you guys to see if it sounds logical.
Was a
Mhm.
sharp play you really I look for doing, boy. A
Mhm.
Yeah,
sharp play.
yeah.
So let's work out the tenant side. You're making
Mm-hmm.
money, and your point really is to. It sounds like it's to buy as cheaply as you can with with the expectation that you will get to sell it back to
Correct,
First Rock itself because of their ongoing buyback.
correct,
Mhm.
correct.
All right, so that immediately means, say, yo, let's tighten up the idea of like the buyback.
The buyback.
How much are they
Mm-hmm.
gonna buy back?
So in total, let me just open up the spreadsheet here. So in total on the JMD side, because it's the JMD I've been working with, the
Mm-hmm.
maximum they can or they have said they can buy back is 3,825,300 shares. So that's three million
Mhm.
eight hundred and 825,300. So
Mhm.
far they've bought back 1.9, which is 50% exactly of
Mhm.
that. So I'm foreseeing that the buys will continue because they've been buying on average about what is like twice a month. It seems September was the anomaly on both the JMD and USD side, but they've been buying
Mm-hmm.
heavy on the USD side. But on the JMD side, it's been about twice a month with intervals of about, so in this here I have about like max is 28 days between buys. They've not gone over that. So we're approaching that max now since the last buy was on the 26th of January,
Mm-hmm.
400,000 units. So I'm expecting another buy, if not next week, the other week,
Mhm.
max. So and I'm expecting them to buy again another 400,000 units because more than enough on the market. But my fear is why I'm kind of hesitant this time is because that order was in the queue and it pushed the price down so far. If they buy at the previous limit, they're going to hit the circuit breaker.
All right. All right. So you're going with a whole heap of things, but you want to make sure say the thing. Actually, I'll work with what you're working with. We hadn't big talk, I'll work with what you're working with. Cool. So you worried
Mm-hmm.
that the order that's there now will is pushing it on. You're talking about the 90,000.
Yeah, the 90,000 units at
Mm-hmm.
1170. So if they buy, so right now they've been buying at uh let's see, so the highest limit they've had so far is 1599. But
Mhm.
on average, I want to say the limit has been around 14 mash, so like 1430 or so, 1420, 1430 or closer to 15. But if they go anywhere close to that, 'cause right now the circuit
Well, the
breaker
last one, February 6th, they put out a
was
notice that they had bought on January
12:55.
26th,
mm-hmm,
1255, and on the Jamaican side, well, on the
four,
Jamaican side
four,
between 1255 and 1498.
1498, yeah.
Yeah, and that's on January 26th that they did that.
Mm-hmm.
So, have you worked out like a little pattern outside of the days? Have you worked out a little pattern in your mind yet about how they pick what they pick, like how high they decide to go?
In terms of their limit,
Yeah.
um, hmm, hmm. To be very honest, no, I haven't worked out how they pick the limit. I haven't worked out how they pick the limit.
Have you on the days where they buy? Have you noticed?
Mm.
Well, on the days on the times when they buy, have you been paying attention to it to see when the buy happens at all?
In terms of a time of day,
No,
or
no,
in ter-
that's not exact time of day. It was, oh, if you, I was wondering if you seen the buy, so you've been tracking
yes,
it and
yes,
say, all right, I know that these orders were them buys.
yes, yeah, yeah. I've noticed on days that they have bought. I have
You
looked
say, yeah,
in the
man, I
queue.
them that.
Yeah,
You check back
yeah,
and
I've
say that's
seen
them.
them.
All
Yeah,
right,
man, and it
how that
come back
usually
to the.
happen?
Oh, it usually happen.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Just on the open market, I just see a bag of, so I don't see anything in the queue. They usually just, it usually seems like a market order.
Mhm.
Seems like a market order.
Outside of the days when they aren't buying, how does the trading look?
Minimum. It's almost non-existent.
Mm.
Let me let me actually look in the trade history here because
Well, well, do that, but I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm looking at it myself, and everybody watching on video also looking at it. And you're not wrong. The days when they buy
Them
are
just rush in.
very distinct. Yeah, man.
Yeah. If you
yeah, the days
check
that they buy the number of trades go from so
show the
on a
trade history,
normal day.
Randy.
Say it again.
Show the trade
Sorry.
history on those days. The January 26th. Show the trade history. I think that's
Yeah,
also interesting.
it's like 30 odd individual trades on the days that they
Yeah,
buy.
man. So they'll sweep in and put in an order and you kind of sweep everything one time.
Yeah,
It's everything at the
they
same
just
time.
pick up everything up to the amount of units that they want.
Yeah.
I've also been looking at it. Very interesting. Very,
Me
very
too.
interested. I just haven't stepped in. Like
Yeah.
it's one of the things
It it
I said I should
it
do and I don't do it yet.
to
To the
So I
be
point
gotta
where
have this
I do.
conversation.
Yeah. To
to
the
be
point where
very
I don't
honest,
even.
it has been very good to me because I've been using it. So the goal I have it in my utilities portfolio. So it's been paying my bills. But
Mm,
if I do it right this time, if the units are still available, this will cover more than a month
Bills
or
and
two. But
more.
yeah, so me kind of I wanted to just talk it out loud with some more
well,
experienced individuals before
it's
I
only
do
us
not.
on it so far. So I guess we'll have to make do. But but tell me something. Tell me
Yeah,
something. Something that could screw it up for you. I'll play
could
devil's
it?
advocate.
Mm-hmm.
Suppose they do the buys on the US side. How have you worked out anything about how they decide US versus JMD?
Well, all right. So I thought of that, and what the conclusion I came to is that every buy so far
Mm-hmm.
on with barring December 28th. December 28th was the only buy that they didn't buy on the USD side. They've always bought on the USD side because the shares they're buying back on the USD side is significantly more. They're buying 24,777,231 on the USD side, but the GMD side a little lighter. So I think they're going to
How do
buy.
you know how much they're buying on each side?
They put it out in the initial. They put out a notice on the JC. I don't remember
March
the
1?
date. March 1, yeah.
I'm
That
asking, don't just say because
oh,
I'm saying it.
okay, I can
I'm
look.
asking. But
They
they put
put
out
out
finish. No man, I'll look. Just tell me. You say they put out a
yeah,
notice, and the notice.
the notice outlined the full buyback in terms all the so it told us how they're going to buy, how much they're going to buy, and when they would start buying. So that notice was on give me a second. It was on March 1, yes.
All right,
So it was 10% of their outstanding share capital, I think. Well, not to
hold on.
exceed 10%.
That doesn't say where they're gonna buy. The USD shares are still part of the share capital, as is their JMD share.
I'm not sure if I understanding. Say that
You,
again.
the notice on March 1 said that the open market share buyback,
Mm-hmm.
the cap that they put on it is 10% of the company's capital.
Oh, okay. I think no. I think in the wrong notice. Then they had said. Let me see. Let me see. I think in the individual buy notices it tells it to you. Let me check one of those. But I know for a fact that. Mm, okay, in the individual buy notice that they put out every time they buy, they tell us the maximum they're buying on each side. So if you check any one of the buyback notices, they
Mhm.
tells you at the bottom the maximum on the GMD side is the 3.8 and the 24 on the USD side.
Well, all right. Yeah, there we go. So the last one on February 6th said exactly that. The maximum number of shares intended to be purchased.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you very smartly have been keeping track of it. So you're confident that they will be
Yeah,
buying on the JMD side.
yeah.
Are you confident as to the when?
Yes.
And you have already bought all you intend to buy, or are you saying like the money that you have,
No,
you're
I
planning
want
to
to buy
buy?
more. I want
You're
to
planning
buy
to buy
more.
more, and your fear is that you
My
might get.
fear is that because the price is where it is now,
Hmm.
I have the original buy I made was closer to it was in the $12 something region.
Well, that don't
But
really
with the
matter. What you're saying is,
yeah, yeah, it
sorry,
not really yeah. So
what's the
so
average
because
price currently?
the average price currently, hold on, give me a second, let me check, bring up my portfolio. I think it's 12. My average price now is 12.42. That's not right. I don't have my. I have a. All right, it's 12.40. It might be a little bit lower. It's 12.42. Let's say 12.42. I bought a small amount the other day that I haven't put in it.
But
It's
it's
12.
above 12.
Yeah, it's above 12.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But so the fear I'm having is because if I buy more, my average is going to be way lower because the amount of units available going to bring me closer to down into to that 1170, 1180 region there.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Or but my fear is that because of where the price is now, even if I average down, I would still make money, I just not going to make as much.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they buy where they normally buy, then the max they can go is 14, 20. Right?
Hmm.
That's so it's still profit, but I don't know if it's enough profit for the level of risk or money.
Well, only you can determine that, Um,
Mm-hmm.
it, but I'm questioning your logic behind it, though. Meaning,
All right.
if your average price now is 12, we'll say 12.40 for purpose of this conversation,
Mm-hmm.
and the goal is achieved by selling all of them, all of your holdings to First Rock in their share buyback,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
how could averaging down be anything other than a profit maker for you?
Good. Yeah. Because
Yeah.
if you don't buy this, then you sell the units you have now at a higher price with a need for a higher level, but with the same, you can at the same level of sell. They didn't know, but to the same
Yeah.
people, to
Mm-hmm.
me, that's
Mm-hmm.
averaging doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it does.
You might be
It
making a
does.
mistake that happens sometimes where people you watch the percentage so heavily that you forget at the end of the day, say money will do this
It's
thing.
money. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because in
Hey,
averaging down your percentage, yeah, it's very likely going to be lower. But look at how
mm,
much each active dollar, each cent above your average price that you sell to. Look at how much each cent is worth now. So if you say you're at 12.40, we say 12.40, and you say they
Yeah.
usually
Twelve
buy at,
forty.
let's say they buy at let's say they buy at 14.50, then roughly 17% profit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
your fear is that they're buying, and I understand why you're worried about what they buy. Your fear is that they may not buy at the 14.40 again. Your fear is
Yes.
that they might do this buy at like a 12.
And my fear is they're going buy closer to this
Well, if you
in the
truly
12
have that as a
region
fear, they're only, in my view, they're only two protections: not being in the thing, or being
or
lower than the
average
price,
loan.
or
Yeah.
yeah, or being low. Well, not being in the thing meaning not having the shares anymore, or
mm-hmm,
being lower than the price that you expect them to buy back at.
mm-hmm. You also mentioned thing there, the how far if you buy how much based on how much you expect them to buy, how you're mentioning how far the price how far up the queue they would go. And I imagine
Mm.
you're doing that based on amount of units, right?
Yes, because if
Have
they
you cal
buy,
mm-hmm.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, go
Go
through.
ahead. Oh man, start targeting, man.
Have you have you think there? Have you factored in anything you take off what is queue, you're not
Uh,
really changing it because you're putting them back later. So it's not like the queue get mashed up by you. It's not like boy the queue will remain the same. If you buy
Exactly.
100,000 units, then it take and they're going to buy 300,000. If you take
Exactly.
100,000 now, you're putting back 100,000. So you're not really changing that as a problem. It's the same amount of units
Exactly.
either way, my man.
mm,
Remember,
So averaging
remember,
down
we
doesn't
are
make
part
sense
of the market,
overall.
Yeah, man.
mm-hmm.
Remember that we are part of the market. We are the
Mm-hmm.
market. So we're not with by being like what we do matters. That's why beating the market, especially in advanced markets, that's why being the markets, coming in with alpha is difficult, especially the bigger you get, because you are also part of the market. So the better you are
Mm-hmm.
at it and the bigger you are, is the more you're affecting the average. So beating the average becomes harder for you. That's where the
Mm-hmm.
true skill is. Like I love that the market is coming towards that. No, well, I'm glad that some of us are paying attention to that sort of thing, in a real way with our money, right? Not talking it out, but actually on the field playing. So consider that, Danai. That's a strong point from Danai. Like you are
You're
there.
giving yourself more. You're giving yourself more reason why this could go beyond the 1420 you're looking at. Because
Mm-hmm.
if you were to take all this 90,000, right, and then this 90,000 when you put it back on the market, it's at 1450 instead. So now they have to buy to your 1450 on all your units to get their numbers.
Mm-hmm. 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 All right, sir. You are right. You are right.
Yeah, man. You want to sit with you want. In my view, you want to spend some time sitting properly with Danai to get like a proper actual advice on your specific situation, but just generally looking at the outlines of it, at least to my untrained eyes, you sounded to me like you were laying out the case for why you should why
Yeah,
you should
I really just been trying to convince myself. So
uh
yeah, so I knew, I was 90% there. I was going to like to do it on Monday, but I just, I wanted somebody to say if I was being blind to my own what I wanted to be true. I wanted somebody just to point it out,
no.
but it
So
sounds
so
like
here's what I think you're actually being blind to, or at least in that situation. Here's what I don't know if you are being blind to, but like, if I was in that same situation, I would consider that my average price is actually way above the current market price.
Mm-hmm.
So I am
mm,
actually in a dangerous position.
Mm-hmm.
mm, I've considered that because
So then safety, safety of capital is an important consideration also. And the only way if you're in a stock to be safe is to have a lower average price on the stock. That's literally the only way.
Mm-hmm.
mm, mm,
So
mm-hmm.
that to
Good
me
point.
sounds like just an even bigger argument for why I would want to average down myself, right? Again,
Mm-hmm.
not saying you should do it or shouldn't do it, that is up to you finally. But like in the situation that you painted here, I would average down heavily because I would consider it part of my insurance. That's how I would be considering it.
Mm,
Yep.
mm. Cool, 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 cool.
And I
All right.
wonder oftentimes, I wonder who else is seeing it the way you are. Because I'm looking on
Mm-hmm.
this tool on my money J here and I realize there $14 is one of the two spots that there are heavy orders.
Yeah, there has
Fifteen
been
dollars is the
somebody else.
second one. So
Somebody else
somebody else out there is yeah.
consistently been doing it as well. So I
Mm-hmm.
don't think I'm alone. Well, I know I'm not, but
I even wonder who this 1170 is. Because with this in mind, why would I be selling there? But
yeah,
keep
I
saying.
thought they popped up. I think they put that order in the queue. It was around I want to say Monday, Tuesday, and people been
Mm-hmm.
chipping away at it. But yeah, so I think it's been there a little bit too long for me. So it might just be time to get rid of it.
You're the man.
Strong talk that.
Strong talk, yes. So 1170 is in the queue, and you said it's been there a little. You said since Monday.
I don't quote me on that, but it's been there since early this week or
Mm-hmm.
midweek.
Mm.
And there was a second one actually, There was another order there at about a little bit lower than that volume at around 1160 something, I think, but the person pulled it.
No, man.
Because I
Now look
didn't
at
see
this.
anything.
1170 has been trading. There've been 1170 trades from last week, Thursday. The majority of the trades on the 16th of February done at 1170.
Mm.
Then Friday, all of the trades were at 1170. Then Monday, all of the trades were at 1170. Then Tuesday, only three of the trades and from the pre-open were at 1170. Everything else was lower. Wednesday, I have an idea what this is, but then I can talk about that off here. So somebody else says, I love this sort of thing, by the way.
Jaja,
I love
Mm-hmm.
knowing
Jaja.
that there's
Why,
somebody else out
why
there.
would you do that? Why would you
What
say
it's
that?
not me. No, I just you know what this is for me. That I know it from the years by talk about investing. I am
Mm-hmm.
aware that, like I say, I'm the best, and I know I'm the best, but I'm aware that I'm not alone. There are other people out there who are sharp. Every now and then I see their footprint in certain things. This is the footprint of somebody who know what I'm doing. This is the footprint of somebody who knows exactly what they're doing. So you're not alone in it. You're not alone in it at all. That's good. You don't feel good knowing that?
Yeah, I feel good, but me still want to know where you gonna tell Danai.
Yeah, well, you probably hear. I'll probably say it in the post Brick Talk conversation in the group, but this 1170 boy, it is good. I feel good seeing that. I feel good and bad, but I feel good when like I'm going to do a play, and how it has always happened to me. I've done to Dana the same way. Is I see a play, I look at something, I check the queue before I make my move. I go in JTrader, I drop in my order, I refresh and the order not trading. I wonder what the hell happening. JTrader giving me trouble. Refresh it not happening. I check it still my order queued. Again, I don't do queued orders really. So for me seeing it queued, that's a what the hell is happening? I refresh, I go back, I refresh the queue, the order's gone. So I check the orders again. The order's not in the queue. I check my trades, my thing still queued. So then if it trade I don't go through and I click wait no. Somebody else saw it and has done the exact same thing. somebody else somebody else chopped me. Somebody else see the move and make the move before I do it. I love that because it means it's not me alone out there. Other people out there see it and make some moves. And some of these moves are at the like this is a retail. Well, to
Mm-hmm.
me this appears to be a retail level play. So somebody
Mm-hmm.
out there who have some money making a play, but it's not necessarily. I don't think this is a pension, right? I don't think this is like the the money side of a pension
Mm-hmm.
doing a wall and bucket. But it's yeah, to me it's good. I like it. And you say it's not you, so that means that it is you plus somebody else out there doing like you and them sharp. You know, well, yeah, it's not me either. I don't. That is you.
Not yet.
Yeah. So it's yeah, yeah. It's a wonderful look. This is within. I think that this situation you pointed out and what I'm looking at now is within that little 2 out of 10 space that I said the queue is actually important. This is where I said the queue is actually important.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and the queue is just even then the queue is just a part of the bigger overall picture. But because I understand the bigger overall picture, I think the queue now becomes very important. Yeah, man. You're playing chess against somebody else, my boy. I don't know if you knew, but no.
And
Yeah,
then
you are
again,
playing.
this kind of things give me excitement because it's the kind of thing I can't speak to clients very well about because not everybody
Ah,
can do this right.
yeah. And this does require like watching, some amount of watching, and yeah. This
Mm-hmm.
this, this would require. Well, I mean, I know that I don't know your typical client would think, but this I think like this would require, in my view, more queue watching than
Oh yeah, man.
usual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And know what can go wrong, know how this thing have to go right. Eh.
Yeah.
I'm not talking to most about this. I'm just either it can go right really well, but if it go wrong, then it just lost and you're in problems. So no.
Yeah, this is an exciting play. I
Yep.
really like this. I really like this as an exciting play, boy.
Boy. I don't know how to feel, but All right.
Feel good. Feel
Feel
good. You're not
good.
the
You make
only
a
person doing.
wicked move. Yeah, man.
Yeah, and yo, more people on the field, the better it is, you know. I'd say
Trust
more,
me.
but I'm not gonna say more on Brick Talk.
Yeah.
But this is exciting to me. This is good. This is good. And it's not too far. Like it's in that nice retail space to where it's not a
Uh-huh.
10 grand thing. So it's a little people. Somebody have to have a little bit of money to make this play, but you're not necessarily rich, but you have a little bit of money. And order 1 million right off the bat.
Yep. And
Oh, this is
they
this is good.
know. Yeah,
Of course, them know.
like
Of course, they know. It is good, boy. How long were you doing this first shot play? Since here, or well, you say a couple
Since
months.
I got it, I start doing it since the last. Hold on, check this. Sorry. The last December, by end of December. So I've only caught it on the JMD side 2 times. So 28 and 26.
Mhm.
You mean? Well, come on, let's be. It's Black History Month. Without confidence in the race of life, you're twice defeated. You've caught it every time they've done it since here.
Yes.
Here we go, sir. They've only done it twice since here, right?
Yes. Well, since here, yeah, on the JMD side, the 400,000, and on the USD side, another 400,000.
Mhm.
Yeah. So they've only done it
Twice.
twice since here, and you've done it profitably.
Yes, yes. I'm gonna tell you, it paid my bills the last last month and this month.
Yeah, man, I love that. I love that. I love that. And you're not the only person in the play. Yeah, to me, the moves I would make seeing this are yeah, they are very, very, very interesting moves. Who would have thought? First rock, the exciting stock of this week at least. And because it doesn't trade very often, too, it's like you're playing chess, but you're playing it slowly.
Yeah, but it's very rewarding chess.
If you get it right, because if you get it wrong, you are locked into something that you don't have many people trying to buy from you.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. If you get burned, they get burned hard.
Yeah, so
It's a
the
hot
risk
burn.
is there too. I love that. The buy queue is what? The buy queue,
Trade.
5 people.
9 orders. On Monday, only 8 of them can trade. And a total of less than 500,000 for the whole buy queue. The sell queue, 262,000 orders, 3.47 million. Huh. It is so exciting. Yeah, you have to make me know how it go. You have to come on. You have to come on end of this month. In the next month, I can know how it go.
Will do, sir. I'll put it in my calendar.
Yeah, man. Please, this is a very, very, very exciting thing today.
But
And the,
I think, well, I'm not load up nobody here, but I think there's somebody else. If my mind not trick me close to the group that is also doing it. But I'm gonna try load up nobody.
it have the same JMMB problem. You think is Trinidad investors?
No, no, not, not, not that one.
All right. Well, let's see. I see. Work and play giant. Boom draw physics himself. Good
Wait then. Not
segue.
today's his day. No. What's good?
Today's what his event day. No, I think he had his event last week. So
Oh no, I'm talking about his movie day.
today's Palace Day.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I don't know if you can hear us. Boom draw physics. All gone, sir. Unmute.
Night, night. Well going, everybody. Doing good.
What's good, bro?
All gone, sir.
There, that night. How was your vacation?
Great.
Your
Great.
vacation.
It was great, bro. It was great.
That's
I'm really happy I did it.
that's awesome, man. Oh wait, no, you say you're not coming tomorrow.
Oh no, I'm not. I'm not.
Is it the man need a vacation from him vacation now?
No, but like it's a great way to unwind from the road.
Nice. So then I was just saying that today is your day. It's Palace Day.
It was today.
I don't know.
Jaja.
You supposed to tell us?
Me?
Yeah. Japan is to Fesco as you are to Palace.
I was on the road all day today.
Okay.
But yeah, today was the day. T plus 2.
Mm-hmm.
But my thing was that I was wondering, do people realize that it was T plus 2? Cause there's a weekend in between, you know.
And you decide to come on to
Mm-hmm.
Brick Talk and say, never change, my brother. I don't know if people. That's a good question. That's a very, very good question. Do people realize that today was a day? I am willing to bet no.
No, I'm certain. I know enough people not have a clue, brother. Monday's going to be a surprise for many.
Something interesting I noticed just today actually was in 138 S.
Really, you wouldn't send notices out in Word document format.
Yo, hold on. Am I the only one that notices that like you can't see the queues in JTrader after closing on?
I don't know. I use my money JA for that.
No.
But I think there. I
It
might
should be
have
able to.
some.
Sometimes it does a thing where they clear it, where you just can't see them.
Okay. I mean, I
Yeah.
use my money JA when I'm
Sometime.
looking for myself, but I find, well, this actually might be like a feature request, but I find that how it's displayed in my money JA is not conducive to a screenshot.
That's being sorted. That's being sorted. However, um, I think maybe sometimes I see that stuff with JC. I assume that they're making changes.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would say. I think that they're making changes.
Yeah,
I'm hoping, or maybe something just done.
maybe. But yeah, so I was looking at 138 SLQ today and I noticed a lot more support than usual in the buy queue, especially at the $5 region. And like I find that the $5 price seems to keep coming up a lot as it relates to 138, because that's the same price that like whoever it was like selling the bunch of shares and the icebergs and thing at 5.
You have to go bring people up to speed. Bring people up to
Oh,
speed. Bring people up to speed.
138 student living
But
on the stock market.
no, man, you're saying that oh, because you're doing that thing that we actually spoke about earlier. You're using Q things as a, a
A point of
landmark.
reference.
Yeah,
Yeah.
point of reference.
Well, yes and no. I'm not it because a f- I'm drawing a connection where they may or may not be one, but considering the trading history, not the Q, but the trading history, like the average daily volumes and thing in 138, I find that the $5 price comes up a lot in terms of prices that it did move at already, as well as the buy orders that are currently in the queue. And based on
And
the average volume that 138 usually trades, the there seems to be more demand than usual.
at what level?
The $5 level.
Okay. That's fine, but you're referencing like because there's some $5 orders.
Oh.
It's not that there's anything wrong with it. It's just that I like my loss.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm trying to move it. I'm trying to move the logic away from just the queue watching, because but not lie still. I'm definitely a queue watcher.
Yeah, and hey, nothing wrong with it.
Nothing
No, I
wrong.
know,
It's
no,
yeah,
I know.
it's just that
Earlier when you say 90% of gains do not depend on the queue, kind of hurt my heart a little bit. Cause I know that
I'm so sorry. Yo, I could be wrong too. Don't listen. I could be
Oh
wrong.
no, man! I don't think I'll be changing anytime soon. The only time I'm not watching the queue is if I'm actually like actively busy, like super busy, which have been a lot recently.
Hmm. Which is good. It's good to be busy these days. But so going back to the actual point, you're saying the $5 level. You think, yo, don't say it the way me want you to say it. Say it any way you know it should sound. You get
Yeah.
me?
So
It's just that I can reference like a five order. You see, like how Mr. CW a while ago spoke about a specific order.
mhm.
It just so happened that the order was there, so I could see it, and then we could reference from that. But you're referencing icebergs and things from the past. That only work if somebody else was also watching the queue.
Oh,
So I very rarely
I
can
get
do
you.
that every
So
single
over the
time.
last few months, from like the end of
Mhm.
from like the end of 2022,
Mhm.
going up until recently, like up until right after the dividend announcement, and
Mhm.
before the right before the APO announcement, there were there was a couple different instances where someone was trying to sell a significant amount of shares at $5, and they were, and I'm speculating also that a couple of the times it was an iceberg order in the queue. um so
Okay.
and then so the person was selling in volumes that were like significantly outsized compared to what usually trades in 138, which was like, so the visible part of the iceberg was like
Mhm.
250,000 units. And yeah, so a lot of units moved at $5 before the announcements,
Mhm.
and then
Mhm.
after the recent resolutions that are going to be put to vote, the price defend. No, nobody that. Anyways, yeah. So after the announcement of after the announcement of the upcoming APO, the price dipped, and then so I was speculating based based on the the spreads that five yeah it, the $5 price just kept on popping up, you know what I mean? So I was saying to myself, if this turns out to be a pattern, if you can get a buy order filled like at a decent level below $5,
Mhm.
that you could probably sell back at $5, because there seemed to be a lot of activity around that price.
All right. I mean that sounds plausible to me, but why do you think that you'll get to buy it below $5?
Yeah, I just said that and I think that I was muted. But yeah, why would you be able to buy it?
Well, after the announcement, there was a dip, so
Uh-huh.
I
When was the
fear
announcement?
the announcement of them considering the APO.
So they had a pre announcement, which was kind of obvious. They never wanted to say it on the 27th of January,
Yeah,
and then on the 9th of January they came right out and said what we knew, that they're gonna
Mm-hmm.
have an
APO.
APO.
yeah,
The 9th of February, sorry, they came out and said that, and uh and then they put out the first quarter results a few days later on the 15th of February.
right.
So from the 9th of February till now. In fact, you couldn't really buy on the 9th. So going from the 10th, or if you bought on the 9th, you've been at 496. The share price has been it was 496 then, it's 501 today, 1%. Cool. But there have been trades below that level.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
These
What?
orders,
Yeah, sorry, go ahead, Danai.
what would be your plan to get me? Yeah, so I put in my order for $4 something. Like, why do I think I can get it there with those 6 orders there at 5.
So one thing I could think about is that maybe there is a larger shareholder who is exiting or selling their shares to another large shareholder.
Below 5? That's what I hope.
Well, no,
These volumes
meaning
are...
like, so if I have a bunch of shares in a stock that doesn't trade a lot, I am worried about the available demand that's in the queue. Maybe.
Maybe
You're
worried
worried
about
about being able to exit the unit, the amount of units that you have at a certain price. Not what's in the queue, but
you're thinking that somebody is probably thinking that. How large a shareholder you think would be caring about that?
anybody in like the top one. Let's see what's so top
Let me check.
top 10. The minimum of the top 10 is 5 million units. So anybody who has under 5 million units or under, or even in the top 10, like that's still a lot of units relative to what usually trades. So I'm saying, so if I have a bunch of units and I've been looking for an opportunity to exit, now that I see all of these units on, all of these orders on demand, that I can know for sure I can sell into this, I may see this as my opportunity. So if I can exit most of my stake at 5 and then some a little bit under, then the price then the price will go below 5.
Say that again.
Yeah, see me? Like, bro.
That's all you're like you're adding a little bit of wishful thinking there.
You see me? Man, just seize it up
No,
with it
so
and say,
wait,
all
no,
right,
wait, no,
see
wait. No.
that?
So if, for example, if I had a lot of units and I'm actually willing to exit at like 480, for example, but I see a bunch of volume at 5, I would still sell for the 480 and scoop up them
But
fives
is
a
it a
lot.
bunch of volumes?
Huh?
That's $2 million. It's $1.9 million to clear the 5. So I don't think a large shareholder is that.
Yeah, but I mean, if the lower end of the top 10 have 5 million units, then I don't think that what's in the queue right now is a lot for anybody who is in like top 20.
To sell? That's what you
Yeah.
mean? To sell.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If I
So
already had a lot of units.
Oh, so you're saying this is a lot of units for the top 20, basically.
No.
no,
No, I'm saying
to sell
if
it.
I already had, no, because remember the question that you asked was how can I reasonably expect that I'll be able to buy under 5? So I'm saying that if I was an investor who already owned a bunch of units and I was looking to exit, I may take this opportunity to exit now, seeing as there is more demand than usual in the buy queue.
There's more demand than usual in the buy queue.
Right.
So you could get maybe 500,000 units out. 400 to be precise,
Not so much,
455,000 units out.
We're not going so much, but they take the 5, so it's saying 377,000 units. Yeah, that's on sprinkle the wishful thinking still. No, that for me to put in my buy order with that in mind. So I use a bucket setting beat plans.
I mean, but that's the thing. So, but depending on how much you're buying, if you set the bucket, then that also becomes another visible order in the queue.
That is true. We are the market.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so no, I never got like super far with the thought process. I was just kind of thinking, yeah, like if you know, I think that there is demand for the stock at $5, and if you were able to get in, you know, a decent price under five, then you know you could make a profit because there it
But
seems that
let's talk some proper fundamentals. How if there's demand at five, how are you gonna get units for cheaper than five?
Mm-hmm.
like I just said, maybe and again, this is definitely like some wishful thinking. But I was saying, yeah, maybe a shareholder with with a large position is willing to exit, and then that would send the price below five.
But then everybody who wanted it at five got it at five.
Mm-hmm.
Now what?
Do we know that this is everybody that wants that five?
No, but I think that's a more. I think my assumption is a stronger assumption than yours because I know for a fact that there are five orders that want these shares at $5. Five orders for a total of 375,000 375,000 units that wants it at $5, and there is one order that wants it at 501. I don't know that when those orders disappear, somebody else is gonna come in and buy it at five. And here's
Yep.
what I think: if you're gonna put a human being behind these orders or human beings behind these orders, I would then adjust to think, okay, if I wanted it at five and I got all of what I wanted at five, and in fact, let's say this large shareholder was selling, so I got what I wanted at five, and people got it all the way down to 440. In fact, you could say people got it all the way down to 362. When I'm putting in my new order, you know what I'm thinking? Somebody obviously wants to get out to the point where they're willing to sell as low as 362. So why would I put my new order at five?
That's a good point.
Remember, we are the market. So think of yourself in that situation. Because if you, Yard, want these shares at five, and let's say you want half, let's say that you want 1 million shares to buy, right? And you wanted them so bad that you put in the first 377,000 out of what you want, you put it in at 5 and 501. And you get it. And when you check how you get it, you realize, say, yo, somebody sold and emptied the queue down to, they sold as low as 362. And there's only one 362 order. So maybe really what they're willing to do is sell it down to four and then say, let me just take the 362 order too. What price would you put your next, your remaining 600 odd thousand in at?
Sell, you mean sell?
No, no, man. You say you want
Oh yeah, yeah.
a million units, and you've only put in.
I would set my order lower at like three, like I would put it slightly above the lowest it went.
Okay, but you think that there's somebody else out there who's doing this stuff, and they're going, let me go, let me go, buy it at five. I got it at five, and other people got it cheaper than me. Let me put it back in at five again. No, I'm not saying that there aren't people who do that, but there's specific ways in which you'd have to, like that'd be a very specific sort of situation, right?
Right.
That then probably wouldn't sound like a regular person. That would probably sound like somebody, they're not interested in actually getting the units. It sounds more like they're more interested in $5.
And what kind of people would be more interested in $5?
It, look, there are different types of people. I'm not saying no, but if there's people that are interested in $5, the reality of how the market works, as I'm sure you know, is that as long as they're interested at $5, you're not going to be able to get it lower than five.
Mm-hmm. I
Yeah, Yared now say what I'm really wanting
me
to say, but
know,
Yared,
and
yeah,
I think
man.
the thing you're saying ties really well into that.
Yeah, I know what I do, but you don't want to say it. Yeah, you reach part two of the market now where you start actually attack the market properly. But let me tell you this, secrecy doesn't save you in the market.
But I'm Mr. Transparent here, okay?
I mean,
That's so
we
funny.
have a podcast where we talk too much. It
Yeah.
don't get worse than that.
But yeah, I like your idea, but it requires two dreams. What your idea requires is these orders leaving, then you coming in and being able to buy cheaper, then these orders coming back. Like I wish that too. I wish GK would I wish the orders in GK would drop and I could buy it for $12. And as soon as I buy 10 million units at $12,
It run
the
right back
regular
up.
queue comes back and I can sell it at 70. But that's just me wishing. This is again, I don't want to hurt your feelings or anybody
No,
else,
no,
but
no,
this is
no,
an
no, no, no,
example
no, no, no.
of where the queue is not as important as people think, and as a result of that, the important thing from the queue or things from the queue they tend to miss because they're looking for something else. I could be wrong. I could be misunderstanding what you're saying or what you're not saying. But yeah, to me, this is also interesting. The queues are always interesting, but don't get lost in it.
Yeah, I feel like maybe a little bit of that is happening.
I feel like you're caught up in wanting to say something, but you don't want to say it. But you're trying to find a way to not say what you want to
Mm-hmm.
say.
But bring the point across same way so we can talk to you in the way you need us to talk to you
I'm trying.
with the full information that you want to
You
give.
don't want to say it publicly, which I understand if you don't want to talk about it publicly. Yeah,
I mean, the other thing that
yeah.
after in the
We have the
group. So
post brick talk talk that we'll have on it. That there'll be I think this will be a great point to start off with in there. So yeah, if you don't mind, or if there's anything else you want to say. So sorry to the people. No, it's a good time. Otherwise, we're gonna wrap up now.
Okay, no, yeah, man, that's it.
All right. Well, big up, Yard. And I'm not used to you coming in like silent Yard at all. But okay, that's why I feel like there's something else you want to say. But I understand. Thank you for that. And thank you for everybody who has come on and actually sent a question or asked anything or put the points out. Next week we'll be back and you can ask whatever other points you want and we'll see whatever is happening. One point that we didn't talk about that I think maybe we should allow to pass into the good night is SSL did lose their license today.
oh yes,
They're
yes.
no longer a member dealer, and that's a massive thing. Um, I saw a tweet earlier. It's from today, but although I did see it today, but I don't know if it was tweeted today or earlier, saying end of an era. And while I don't know what it's about, I think that
Related.
it's probably related to it. Regardless, I think looking at SSL losing its member dealer status, that really is the end of an era, one way or another. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, there's like a small percentage of sadness in that, because it's always nice to have the age in the industry. But then again, the oldest broker in Jamaica is NCD, technically.
Mm.
Yeah,
Ah, okay.
technically NCD, um, because they have. Oh, it's all right. I'll wait for the people to say that we're wrong. But yeah, the oldest broker I think is NCD. But regardless, it's also a bit good because I think with everything that has happened, it's good to see that there is some. It's not a dead situation. It's actively being managed by the powers that be.
Mm-hmm.
And I look
Yeah.
forward to seeing how that's handled
Oh,
for the
this was
people
all
who are
turn out. I mean, there's still have a thing that they still have a brokerage license. They're just not able to work with JS. They just not have the JSC trading license basically. So we'll see how
correct.
that turns out at the end.
Correct. So let's see. So I guess maybe that'd be interesting. Maybe I'm surprised that brokers haven't offered free movement of people who want to transfer their accounts over to a new broker.
Same.
Um, yeah, but I'm
Well,
sure
actually,
that's
I
all
thought
been.
that was what I thought it would be.
I thought it would be
Okay, it's
also,
kind of
but
late. It's kind of feel late. I even wondered if FSC was like just hold up a little bit or something. It kind of feel late. No,
maybe, yeah. Or, finance carry feelings. So I think maybe it might be looked on, or it would have been thought to look on as like, you you're stepping on, like you're jumping on opportunity where some entities down. So do it. So don't do it. Let's wait and see. Who knows?
Hey,
But I look forward to seeing what the option is for the accounts, the people who have
but
their accounts there.
but I know if I was an SL client, I'll be very happy to be able to move out.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. Well, actually, I am an SSL client, so
I know you're very
I,
happy to be able to move out. So
yeah, I very, very, very much, I'm happy for that. I see, as usual, we have one late person, but great. It looks like they're gone. It's like it was an accident. So you go. But yeah, uh, I'm very interesting to see, and it's also interesting because of its possible impact on the market. So, like we heard today, you know, the like we saw the share movements today that I hear is from SSL. So I was like, yo, we know we're losing it, so let's get this out before we have to pay a fee on it. Because no, anything that SSL
yeah,
moves,
they have to use a broker.
yeah, they're gonna need a broker. So a broker would charge them. So if I was a nice enterprising broker, I would go. I won't charge you on your trades, just give me all of your customers.
Mhm. And I might not, see, I don't know, other
Look at
brokers
that.
are dealing with them pretty heavily right now with all that
I,
they're going through.
I
Because
don't know.
that's the kind of thing I think the name again. You know how the banking thing go. With certain levels of problems, we just not gonna need your money in certain ways until you sort out yourself.
True, true. But I mean, like, give me a cost. But then again, I don't know if many brokers care about, you know,
Retail.
retail
Just
and your regular thing.
trading
But yeah, I'm sure
accounts.
that there's pensions there. We saw GOJ accounts there. Depending on who you ask, there's both accounts there, whatever is left of them. So yeah, I'm sure them have a couple of big accounts that they might want to move if people care. I don't know.
Mhm.
I'd hope so. We have 15 at this point now, 14 brokers in the
But
industry.
imagine you if you're a big thing, if you're a big client and the move conversation come up,
Hmm.
uh, SSL could have tell them, like meaning everything going on now, and you're looking to move your account, and they're telling you, okay, guys, so NCB want to say we're going to start out moving your account to NCB. Like, would you care what they're saying versus go on your own, go find out, sort out yourself?
I wouldn't take no talk from that entity personally.
Yeah,
Worse, here's all my thing. I just deal with it real. I don't have the level of money that Bolt have, and if the man them can say them never know Bolt as a customer, them certainly
they
don't know
never know
me.
me neither.
So we don't want nobody talk to me.
Exact,
Right?
straight up.
Yeah, but I just handle it on my own. But yeah, I look forward to seeing who replaces them if it's replaced. Some fresh blood would be good, and we can move on from that.
Yes, sir.
Whew. Anyway, big up. Thanks again to everybody. Thanks that Danai for toughing this out while he's sick.